Jay, I saw a sad story of a young 12-year-old boy dying during the punishment given to him by his PE teacher. So basically, the teacher made him run when he wasn't dressed properly for a PE. And as a result of him running outside in the heat in California, he collapsed and died. So my question to you is, who's at fault here? Do we need to take a harder look at our educational system with things like this? Or what should be next steps?
The teacher need to go to jail. I don't think it need to be a hard look at the education system. I think that, we come from a generation, we have a generation of people that's out here now. Like, we went through hell when we were growing up. If you were a sports player, and we clown these kids a little bit because they're a little, they don't go through what we went through. It's like watching the movie Rocky IV. And I always think about that when you look at Ivan Drago was training with all of this computerized stuff, and Rocky was out in the elements, lifting logs, running up mountains and all that other type of shit. And so they want the kids to go experience the same thing that they experience, and it's not like that. So it wasn't for sports, it's supposed to be for PE class, and making a kid do all of that. I mean, we got to go with the parents too. I'm not blaming the parents, not even by a long shot, but we got to make it clear to our kids that it's okay to say no. It's okay to refuse doing something that you feel is going to hurt you when your teachers say it. So, because I let my kids know, if you got to fight because somebody was doing something to you, you can be in trouble at school, but you won't be in trouble at home. And that's the only thing that counts. We can find another school. You know what I'm saying? And if you think that something's going to hurt you and they tell you to do it, you can tell them no. And they'll have to deal with me. But I don't think a lot of parents do that. I think a lot of parents is just like, hey, let them go and listen to what the teachers say. Everybody don't make good judgments. You know what I mean? All people don't make good judgments. All of us have a lapse in judgment. And so having that teacher make this student run in the blazing heat, that's not a good judgment. Not even a little bit. So teach your kids about good judgment. Make sure that they are okay. Let them know it's okay to say no. To refuse what an adult says, if they know within their heart that it's going to bother them. Even if they don't know, if they're confused about it, say no and let me deal with it. If it was going to be a punishment, send them home, give them a demerit, suspend them, do something. But that kid would still be here today. He wouldn't have passed away. And so I just think that we got to start empowering our kids and letting them know, like, if you feel, not just if somebody touching you the wrong way, because of course we understand that, but even sometimes these teachers be asking our kids to do some dumb shit these days. And it's okay for our kids to straight up say, no, I want to call my parent, or let them send them to the office, let them call, and we'll deal with that. My daughter in 5th grade, she was going to a Mandarin immersion school, and she didn't understand Mandarin. It's her first year there. And she was, she started flipping out. They don't allow you to speak Mandarin, not to speak Mandarin. You can't speak English when you're in these classes. And, of course, she's new. And when she was upset, she just said, forget it. And because my daughter actually called me, my daughter didn't get suspended, but another young lady did. And I explained to that teacher, I said, listen, I grew up in the New York area, and I've been around Spanish people, Chinese people, everybody. When you're upset, you speak in your native tongue. You don't speak the language that you just trying to figure out when you're upset. You go back to what you're comfortable with. I said, my daughter's upset. You can't expect her to speak your language. Well, because I was there, and moral of the story is that end up being my daughter's favorite teacher by the end of the year. But I empowered her to be able to push back respectfully, but to push back, not put you in a negative situation. Now, this wasn't a life or death scenario, but at the same time, these teachers need to know that your parents are going to do something. They're going to be there. And this is supposed to be your number one priority. But a lot of us are bogged down with our jobs and careers and things of that nature, and we can't get to the schools. We just saying, hey, let the teachers listen to what the teachers do. They know best. They don't know. They don't know. They're parents themselves. They're trying to figure it out themselves. A lot of they don't know what they're doing. So I want us to just be a little bit more involved in what's going on. But that teacher needs to be fired and probably even in jail if everything is the way you said it is, because You shouldn't have nobody's children running out in the heat like that. That's ridiculous.